Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Together We Battle podcast. We are back with week 3 of our 14-week series, Roots of Growth. We are offering short spiritual practices for everyday life, and I would love to welcome back my co-host, Nancy.
Hi, good to be here. Thanks, Jessica.
Of course. Super excited to talk about week 3's focus, but also would just quickly like to recap week 2. We did a breath prayer. So if you would like to hear episode 1 and 2 of this 14-week series, make sure you check the podcast for additional information on those. But week 3, Nancy, please share with everybody the focus and the practice that we're going to learn today.
So, this is typically called blessing each moment. To bless is to call to life, right? When we bless, traditionally, we don't bless objects, we bless the individuals who use them to call to life. We could bless anything we wish. So, I'm just going to draw that distinction there. So, the practice of blessing each moment supports us in coming to an awareness of a number of aspects of our daily lives. So the idea is to attend to each moment. You could to try to do this all day long would be overwhelming. So pick a period of time. Maybe let's try dinner. So you would maybe touch all the ingredients, take a moment to just thank them for being there, to bless them, to invite them to call your body and those that you are feeding to life. You can take a moment when you turn on the oven or the stovetop to bless that, to call it to life, to it's doing the work that it needs to do. You can bless, for instance, the dish that you're going to put something in or the pot, and when it's finished, and the plates and silverware on the table, and just taking that time to look with your eyes. What if your eyes became that container for blessing? Or your ears? What if you linger a moment, just a moment, before beginning a task or ending that task, to set that time aside for a blessing, which can be just as simple as, Lord, bless this. You can add more to it if you wish. That's fine. We're talking short and simple. The idea is to come to a measure of awareness which pulls us out of habit. Habit is, in certain ways, the enemy of presence because we just get going on autopilot and we're just not aware of what is happening. So, nothing is too little to bless. So consider the steam rising from freshly poured coffee. Bless that you have the coffee, that the warmth is there, that it will warm you and bring you life. You can bless the sound of rain. I love being able to be inside my house with rain pounding down. I feel safe. And it's also something wonderful because the rain brings the green. You can bless the fragrance of new mown grass, something that you are inhaling, the feel of an object or a person, someone you're holding hands with. My granddaughter was with her recently, and she reached out and held my hand because we were in a crowded place. And it was just so lovely. She's 12. And you can bless a pet. What about the taste of fruit or anything? So you can engage all of your senses in this blessing. Doesn't necessarily have to be words, just that moment of receiving life from another person or an animal or an object, anything. So it's a very simple awareness of that which is around you, which you are engaging, and how it calls to life. Now, of course, there are challenges too. We could lose a job. We could lose an opportunity. We could lose a loved one in a variety of ways. And so these challenges can be blessed as well. We can look for the potential of new life, blessing the job that was with hope for what will be. Or we could find some small piece within a challenge that we could also bless. That can be more challenging, but it too opens us to the present moment and to the potential of that moment. So this practice can be used in a number of ways, number of situations. And to begin, I would suggest that you just choose either a little time frame, even if it's 10 minutes, set a timer, or for a task at the beginning and the end of that task. It's really a practice of awareness, coming to awareness.
That's so important, especially during a busy holiday season. I don't like to use the word busy. All of our lives are full. Our lives are full. We have a lot going on all the time. It's bringing back that awareness.
You're calling down the blessing of the Creator. So a call to life.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, gratitude's a good piece of that. So something like, bless the shimmering moment. Bless my pet. Pets usually have names, right? So you do the name, stroke them. So my last cats were Emma and Gracie. So bless Emma, bless Gracie. May all who see, hear, touch, taste, smell this item be blessed. So it's
Bringing it back to the person, not the thing. I like that you said that in the beginning.
relationships can be life-giving. So you want that, you want to acknowledge the blessing, the life that has come forth from that. So it's related to gratitude, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then there's times where something horrible will happen, car accident, something out of the blue, unexpected. What can we find within that? Bless the helpers who have come to help.
Mm-hmm.
But find within that something that is life-giving, even if it's teeny, in the midst
Yeah.
of other stuff that is life-taking, life-denying. So blessing is really about the life-giving aspects of life and acknowledging them.
Yeah.
The difference between slapping a plate of food down in front of someone and placing food down with them, knowing that what you have spent time preparing is going to be life-giving to them. It's going to give them energy and delight from the taste and so forth and so on.
Yeah. Well, just one example that I could give from personal experience was I always, when I was going in for a surgery or for my treatments during chemo, I would always ask for blessing for the staff,
Mm-hmm.
people administering the medication, people doing the surgery, that they were able to show up in their day in a strong place,
Mm-hmm.
well rested, well prepared for anything that may come up. And I think too, when you give blessing to other, you feel like you receive life
Yeah,
back in return.
the very act of blessing itself is life-giving. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. How do you use this? Again, you could choose an activity intentionally and bless it before you begin, whatever during the middle, if that's appropriate, something at the end, or it could come up in the midst of whatever's going on, realizing, okay, I need to take a breath. Let me bless this moment. Let me call it to awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, we're so busy with children that we're not fully present to them. And so this is also a practice that brings moments for presence, that being with fully. So that's another way of thinking about this practice.
And you enjoy life so much more when you
Mhm.
can bring this into practice. You and I talk about let's keep these practices short and give people something very tangible to utilize within their day. And even if it's not in every single day, if you need to start really small and it's this week on Thursday, I have a lot going on. I'm going to pick one scenario in my day that I really need the help to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Bring this blessing with you during that day.
Right. And then it may become a little bit more engaged, a little bit more a way of how you become present in the moment. Because to bless the moment, you need to be present to it.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
core of spiritual practice.
Yeah, it's important. It's tough to get used to, but when you can get there, it makes a
Mm-hmm.
difference.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening and doing the practice with us today. If this practice was helpful for you, make sure that you share it with a friend, a family member, share it out into your social media community. We appreciate you all engaging with us, so share how this worked for you. Leave a comment. But we really appreciate you joining us for this week's Roots of Growth. And a quick tease for episode 4. I'm really, really excited about this one. Nancy, share with everybody just something short and sweet about the rosebud thorn, if you would.
So it's a way to reflect on a period of time. Usually this is done for a day or a week. You could do it for a month, whatever period you stop. So it's a way of looking at the roses, the thorns, and the buds in your life. And we'll talk a little bit more about it. And it's really a great bedtime practice for children.
Yay! I'm so excited. Thank you for joining us for this week's Roots of Growth. We hope today's practice gave you a pause, a breath, a gentle rooting in what matters. Don't forget to try it this week and share your experience on social media using the hashtag Roots of Growth so that we can engage with the conversation. Nancy, thank you so much for being here, and I'm excited for week 4.
Thank you. And I am too. So stay tuned for all 14 weeks.
Yay!